morning, everybody, and welcome to the Workplace Wellness Buffet. Today, we're going to be talking about 7 Nordic neutralizers for calm. So this is going to help all of us, no matter what our job is, to go from chaos and overwhelm to feeling more calm, creating more calm in the workplace. It's something that's very, very important. So my name's Victoria. I'm a calm and confidence coach, and I specialize in Nordic inspired living and enrichment. My company is called Vic Inspired, and the name actually comes from a black beach on the south coast of Iceland, and Iceland is my muse. So I was going through a period of a lot of stress in my life, and I visited Iceland. And I felt very moved by all of the dynamic landscapes, by the culture, by just Iceland as a whole, and all of the Nordic cultures. So I set about setting up this company and creating unique coaching experiences. So some of the tools that I use in my coaching are NLP, EFT, creative visualization. I have an island of calm and an island of confidence, things like that I like to use with people. And Nordic inspired coaching and creativity. So I've been developing a framework that consists of Nordic neutralizers, confidence catalysts, and fuel for firing ideas and innovation. I'm also very passionate about lifelong learning, about supporting and collaborating with other coaches, as you can see from this event, and creatives. I write a lot of poetry, I paint, and I'm very interested in personal development and mental health and well-being. So that's a little bit about me. Now, I'm sure that you've seen that there's a lot of posts and things about different Nordic principles and different Nordic words. So Nordic inspired living, what is the obsession? Why are a lot of people talking about this? Why does it keep popping up in different news articles and on social media? Well, every year, the UN does a World Happiness Report, and Nordic countries come out top in the world year after year after year. So it tends to be that out of the top 10 countries, 5 of them will be Nordic each year. So this got me thinking, there must be something in this. There must be a reason why they keep coming out as top. So I started looking at some of the Nordic principles that are out there. And before I launch into these principles, because I've collected 7, well, actually there's 8, because I've put a bonus one on for you now that a lot of people haven't heard yet. Before I start talking about that, I want to talk a little bit about the overwhelm that we're all experiencing and the chaos that we've all been experiencing throughout this pandemic. And I want to say in the workplace, but it's not. It's in the home and in the workplace. And I'm sure that you've all experienced the fact, well, I know for a fact that we've all experienced our work and our home life is just, it's become all mingled, and it's all spilled over into each other, hasn't it? So it's not like we have that divide between home and work that we used to have. I know a lot of people did work from home before, but it's massively increased during the pandemic, hasn't it? And it's not even just that, it's adapting to working from home and things going wrong. So people knocking at the door when you're trying to record, people doing work next door, things happening with your pets or your children, just things, everyday things happening in your work day that you didn't expect. And it's creating this chaos and this overwhelm because it's things that we don't have control over. And when we don't have control over our day, anxiety builds and overwhelm builds. So this happened to me today, actually. So I planned out this week, I planned out my workshop, took my son to school and had to turn around and come straight back because his class, there's a case of COVID, suspected COVID in his class. So they've closed the school for today, his year group. So yeah, I come home. And you just have to adapt. It's a constant adaptation to whatever's happening so that it's creating this chaos. So these principles will help you create calm and counteract the chaos that you might be feeling. So I'm going to take you through them now. We all hear this, don't we, all the time? Life is our journey, don't we? But I like to think of it as a quest. So living well is our quest. And it is a quest for balance, for happiness, for purpose, for calm, for enrichment, for confidence. We're all on a quest for different things that are going to enhance our life in some way. So today we're going to be focusing mainly on calm and confidence and contentment. So how can we bring these three different things into our lives? How can we welcome them in? How can we actively, proactively create these things in our day-to-day life? So the first Nordic word, which I'm sure that many of you have heard before, is hugger. And there's lots of different pronunciations going around with this. I've heard Higgy, I've heard all sorts. But this is the art of cozy living. So it does touch on interior design and styling and creating a cozy environment in your home and in your workplace, but it actually encompasses a lot more than that as well. It's about creating these cozy memories and experiences. So it isn't just your environment, it is the feelings that that environment will give you. So it really is, it's about creating the coziness, creating contentment, that sweet spot of just being at peace, feeling very peaceful, feeling just safe, really. I think coziness and contentment is very much attached to feeling safe and comfortable, and then that creates calm. So this is something that is very, very popular, especially on social media. So I'm sure you've seen it. And it is a massive topic. This is one of the reels that I have on my Instagram, so I just thought I'd share it with you. It's quite fast, so I can replay it if you need me to. But this is just some of the ways that you can bring hugger into your home or into your workspace. So I'll show you this. As you can see, it's lots of warm furnishings, house plants, fairy lights, different textures and textiles, baskets and wooden sort of furniture. And I've put a list here that you can screenshot. So I'll give you a moment now. If you want to take a screenshot of that, you can, just to sort of add a little bit of warmth and coziness into your space, whether it's your office, whether it's your home office, or whether it's your home in general. If you add some of these things into your space, into your personal space, you will naturally start feeling more cozy and more content, and it just gives you a nice feeling. So I'll give you a moment to do that. And this is a Facebook group that I set up. This is how I actually started coaching. So I set up this group when I heard about hugger in the first place. And I ended up coaching the people that were in their families, help them to create these lovely experiences. So please feel free if you want to join the Facebook group. It's Hugger Makes Me Happy on Facebook. And there's lots of topics in there that can help you to expand on this principle in your life. Okay, so the next one is lagom. Lagom is another one that's quite popular at the moment, and that is the art of balanced living. So it isn't about depriving yourself of certain things, whether it comes to food or hobbies or whatever it is. It's about finding that balance between the two, finding your balance between your home and your work life, which is very much blurred now, knowing where to set boundaries and be assertive, and just making sure that you look after your time, your energy, your well-being, your resources, whether it's money or whatever it is. Anything that you have at your disposal, it's learning how to balance those different resources so that you have the calmest life that you can create for yourself. So that's lagom. Fika is the art of social living. This is something that you might see if you go to IKEA or somewhere like that. They have big posters up about fika, and it's about having a cup of coffee or something to eat with friends, maybe having a coffee break. This is something that people have really missed in the pandemic, especially in the work environment, you know, being able to just do stuff with colleagues, just having a little cuppa or something here and there and having a bit of a chat. It's something that we can still implement even if we're working from home. We can catch up with people, we can have a little quick Zoom call with them, or if you're thinking about your whole life in general, it's about connecting with friends. Now, I think a lot of people have realized, most people have realized that these connections are very, very important. And when they were taken away from them, It really did have a massive impact on people's overall mental health and well-being. So making sure that you make time to contact a friend or a relative or a loved, contact somebody in your day, make time for that, prioritize it. And it's not these connections on social media where you go and you like someone's picture. That's not an actual connection. And people are feeling very lonely right now. So you can feel isolated, even if you're in a room full of people. You can feel like you have this loneliness. And it's because people are missing the actual connection they get from being a little bit vulnerable with somebody, from sharing experiences with people. So it's about rekindling those bonds, and not just contacting people to have a moan either. It's good to vent and release some of the tension, but maybe try and contact a friend and just say, can you remember when we did this? Wasn't it really funny? And share an experience that was nice, that brings back nice memories. Because what you do when you relive these lovely memories and experiences is your body will naturally relive that happiness. It'll revisit those emotions that you experienced at the time, and you'll naturally feel a little bit brighter in yourself. So give that a go, because it has a massive impact on us, positive impact. Number 4, now this is one that a lot of people neglect. I'm guilty of doing this, and it's something that I have to keep reminding myself and focusing on. This is Nixon. Nixon is the art of restful living. I don't know about you, but sometimes I'll think, right, I'm just going to sit down and put my feet up for 5 minutes, and I'll sit there with a cuppa or something, and my brain is still going, and it's still thinking of ideas, and it's just in overdrive constantly. Or I feel guilty if I'm not sitting, if I'm not doing something, if I'm sitting still and not doing anything. But it's about removing that guilt and saying to yourself, actually, I need a few minutes to let my brain rest, body and brain. So just sit there and not do anything, not expect anything from yourself, not force yourself to create some sort of masterpiece in your mind, not problem solve all these things that you might have to do. Just sit and rest your brain and just let it reset. And when we give ourselves an opportunity to do this and make it a daily practice, and it's different to mindfulness as well, when we do that, our brain resets and we become more creative, and we feel like a lot of the tension that we've been carrying will just lift. So Nixon is very, very important if you want to feel fresh and productive. It might feel like it's a waste of time sitting doing nothing, but it's actually one of the best things that you can do to be more productive in the workplace or in the home, and to just feel better in yourself in general. So that's Nixon. And it's not guiding your thoughts in any particular way. It's just letting them be, just letting yourself be for a few minutes, finding somewhere peaceful and just sitting. It's different from meditating. It's different from mindfulness. It's just zero expectation, only rest. So that's Nixon. And this one is Luca, the art of happy living. Sometimes when we have a very, very long to-do list, we can forget to put things in our day that makes us happy. And we tend to just sit and scroll social media when we're overtired. And, if that makes you happy, then fair enough. But it's about looking for things that actually feed our happiness. So we're creating this happiness within us. And it's things like hobbies and interests, things that make us laugh, things that make us feel lighter and brighter, and putting those in our day, actively pursuing them, actively making time for them, whether it be just for us or for us and our family. And as you'll see as we go through as well, you can mix some of these different things together. So you can mix together Hugga and Fika and Luca by doing something with friends in a cozy environment that make you happy. You can mix the three together. But these are things that you can do on your own as well. And it's just really being mindful of them helps you to schedule time for them. and not neglect them. Number 6, Sisu. Sisu is the art of resilient living. And Ian and I are going to touch on this a little bit tonight in the Fire and Ice workshop. We're going to talk about Sisu in more detail. So this is about finding a strength that we sometimes don't think we have. So we might be bombarded with problems and issues. We might be having just bad day after bad day. And we feel like we just can't do it anymore. We can't carry the weight on our shoulders. And Sisu is something that is, it's sort of described as the fire in your belly, the grit, you know, that little bit of determination, that flicker that of fire that we can ignite again and we can fuel to keep us moving. And it's something that all of us have. We all have strength within us, and sometimes we don't know it's there until we really, really need it and we tap into it. So that is Sisu. And it also, when it comes to the workplace, it helps us to be resilient if things go wrong. You know, if you plan a day and then something happens, it's about being resilient. It's about bouncing back from whatever situation is put in front of us and being able to problem solve and navigate, because if something happens and we are met with an obstacle, we can either just sort of lie down and think, I can't do this anymore, or we can get up and we can find our Sisu and we can just focus and drive ourselves forward and overcome that issue. So it's an important one for the workplace as well. My favorite one to pronounce, Friluftsliv. I did it. This is the art of outdoor living, and it's amazing. I'm sure that you all agree how much just going outside for a few minutes can reset a person. And when you're really, really stressed and you're staring at the computer and you just feel like you have this headache, this tension headache or Zoom fatigue or whatever it is, sometimes we can put off just going outside for some fresh air, but it is amazing how quickly that can just reset us. Even if it's going to have a cup of coffee or a coffee break outside, or having a lunch break outside, or going for a walk at lunchtime, actively trying to spend time in nature, going to hug a tree, or even just bringing plants inside, that can lift your spirits as well and just make you feel a lot better. Because I think when we're surrounded by nature, when we're surrounded by natural things, as humans, we just feel better in general. If we're surrounded by bricks, man-made things, plastic, you know, all these things, screens, fluorescent lights, it doesn't feel natural to us and it stresses us out. So it's about just going back to nature, reconnecting with nature in some way, and it will just breathe life into your day, and it'll make you feel fresh, alert, and a lot calmer in yourself. So that's Friluftsliv. I have lots of books about all of these different principles that I use with my coaching, and I'm happy to share links to these where you can get them for yourselves and have a look at them in more detail. So I'll put some links to them if anybody's interested in the YouTube description of the replay. So what is number 8? Number 8 is something that I haven't shared. I'm just sharing it for the first time today. And it's something that ties everything else together. So I'm quite excited to talk about this one today. Number 8 is called ume, and this is the art of making an effort. So it's bridging the gap between intention and action. So between where we want to be and where we are, and where we want to be. And I've put a nice little bridge here for you. So ume, I reach my goals. Effort is this bridge that's going to take us to where we want to be. So in order to see the results that we want to see in our work life or our home life, we need to put in effort. I'm sure you agree with that. And even a small amount of effort will yield some results. So every step that we take will move us in the right direction. It'll take us closer to where we want to be. And if where we want to be is calm, content, and confident, then all of these steps that we've just looked at will help us to reach this, but we have to put in the effort. So the question is, what small, simple changes can we make in our day-to-day routines that will yield calming results for us? So what are some of these changes that we can make? I'm sure as I'm talking through, you're starting to think of some ideas of how you can implement these principles in your day. And I'm just going to give you two options here that I use with a lot of my clients that I've found very, very useful, and they have quick results as well, which is something that we all want, simple and quick. So option one is to pick a different Nordic neutralizer each day and give it your focus. So it's kind of like a theme of the day sort of thing. So there's the words along there at the bottom. If you want to do this one, maybe you could just take a screenshot of it. And really it's just thinking, say, for example, you might pick Hugger today. You're going to then think, how can I make it a little bit cozier and more warm, inviting, calm in my workspace? So it might be that you light a candle, you know, it might be that you get a nice cushion for your work chair, things like that. It sounds small, but it will make you feel a little bit better and a little bit cozier. And then maybe tomorrow you might want to focus on logom and different ways that you can implement that in your day. Option two would be to strive to use all 7 of the Nordic neutralizers each day and tick them off. Now that might sound like it's quite a lot, but it's actually, it might feel like it's giving you more to do on your to-do list, but it actually creates calm to be able to tackle the tasks that you do have in your day-to-day life. I find this very useful myself. So what you can do is if you just make a tick list with these 7 different principles and then just tick them off when you know you've done something. So, oh, I've been balanced because I set a boundary with that. So I'm going to tick logom off. Or, oh, I've sat and I had a little bit of a drawing session at lunchtime. I just drew a picture or something. You can tick off Luca. Or I was quite assertive today. And I was resilient in the workplace when that happened. So you can tick off Sisu. And it's just really making sure that you've addressed all of these different principles, you've given them a bit of a focus, and it will have a calming effect on you in your work life and your home life.
In your Find Your Place journal, is there the ability to do that?
There isn't actually. There is a chart in here which it doesn't have the Nordic principles. Can you see that? I will share a link to this Find Your Place journal, but this talks about balancing your spiritual, physical, mental, social, and emotional aspects of your life. So making sure that you give these focus as well. But this is good for logom because it can help you to balance all the different aspects of your personality, all the things that a person needs to feel balanced, balance your time and your energy. Sorry, I caught your sound went off there, Ali.
I said I knew I remembered something
that
was in there that was about balance for sure.
Yeah, the Find Your Place journal has a lot of things to do with Hugger. Actually, it's mainly based on Hugger, and I tell you what, I'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. I'm just going to finish going through the slides, and then I'll talk to you a little bit more about the Find Your Place journal. Okay, so just to recap on all the different principles and some tips on how you can implement these. Number 1 was Hugger, so making your space cozy. And that is something that will definitely create this content, lovely feeling in your work day or in your home life. Number 2, logom. That's about routine, structure, balance, asserting your boundaries, looking after yourself, making time for self-care, and really just making sure that everything's balanced and your habits and things are balanced. Number 3, fika. That's about connecting with other people, rekindling connections that you might have lost over the past year or so, and really just giving that a focus in your day and being able to feed that social side of your personality. Number 4, Nixon, letting your body and brain have the rest that it craves. We all need to recharge and rejuvenate. And it's just, even if it's 5 minutes a day, it will help you to be more productive and feel calmer in yourself moving forward. Number 5, Luca, allow time for happy things, things that are going to enrich your day, enrich your life, things that make you laugh. We all feel good after we've had a little bit of a laugh, so you can actively pursue it. Watch something funny, go and watch something funny at lunchtime and notice the change, or follow an interest or a hobby and make time for that break. Sisu, find your strength and resilience. When you might feel like you don't have it and you can't do something, remember that you can. You've got that fire in your belly, you've got that grit, and just unleash it, really. That's Sisu. Free Luftsleeve, spend time outside or bring nature inside. Again, this could tick off Hugger on your list as well, because it's bringing in plants and it's making it feel cozy, but that will create calm for you as well. And may I reach my goals? Put time, effort, energy into your own well-being and into your own personal growth and development, because you deserve that. We all deserve to put this time and energy into ourselves, as well as what we're giving out. We need to fill ourselves back up. And one of the exercises that I use with Logom actually is when you have your to-do list. I found this very, very useful. Every time you have something on your to-do list, put either an up arrow if it gives you energy, or a downward arrow if it takes energy out of you. So say, for example, it might be going food shopping. That would be it would take energy out of you. Sitting reading a book for 10 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever, that would maybe replenish you. So you put an upward arrow. And the idea is that you balance your arrows, you balance your time, and that will balance your energy and it will create calm for you. So if everything on your to-do list is a downward arrow, how are you going to feel? You're going to feel drained, aren't you? You're going to feel absolutely shattered, drained, and overwhelmed. So even just little things like that, little changes like that, can make a massive impact. Okay. So tonight, Ian, George, and I will be in the next workshop talking about Viking strength. We're going to be filling in for Johan. And we are going to be talking about fire and ice in the workplace. So that'll be tonight at 7 o'clock. We will also talk a little bit about Viking Camp, which is a 30-day challenge for those who are really looking for to find physical, mental, and emotional strength. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that later on. If you want to hear more of my stuff as well, I'll be back on Thursday morning talking about confidence catalysts. Now, this confidence is something that holds a lot of people back from doing things that they want to do in life. So I'm going to talk about how we can use catalysts to help propel us forward and be confident in the workplace, be confident at home, be confident if we want to create something. So I'll be talking about that on Thursday morning. There'll be a replay available on the YouTube channel for all of these as well. And my Find Your Place membership, I'm going to be relaunching that in November, but it will be for women only. And it is for women who are on a quest specifically to find calm, confidence, and contentment and create that in their life actively. So I'll be working with them. You can sign up for the waiting list on vicinspired.uk. or you can just send me an email or contact me and I'll tell you more about it. You can contact me at Vic Inspired UK on all social media as well. So yes, that's the presentation. I'm just going to stop the share so I can tell you a little bit about the Find Your Place journal. And then I'll open it up for questions. So yes, if you're interested in Hugger, if you're interested in Hugger and find out more about that, this journal will help you to organize and make time for it. So there's a Hugger bucket list. There's lists for your goals, physical, spiritual, and emotional, how you can balance all of those things, how you can hugger your home. And there's also lists. I love lists. There's space for lists. There's a tick list for 25 tips to declutter your mind. And then there's hugger journaling prompts. So there's 30 days worth of those. And it's full of Nordic quotes as well and inspiration. So that's the Find Your Place journal. I'll put a link to that as well if anybody's interested. So thank you very much for listening. I'm going to stop recording now and open it up to questions. Thank you.